Why? Ow. How? What? What? Why? Why though? Why? Anyway. So has Jade become intersex now? Is that just what happened randomly all of a sudden? She just became... I guess this possibly is a thing that could happen if you mix a male dog with a female child. It's a thing that can happen. Anyway, reading. We're gonna start reading. Okay. How cute do you guys think John's baby's gonna be? Like on a scale of 1 to 11. Jade rolls over and nuzzles herself into the crook of Dave's armpit, taking Carket's hand with her that's slung over her stomach. Dave doesn't stop scrolling on his phone. His face is a kaleidoscope of neon, lit from beneath by the Alternian mushrooms that flare up at night with a sick green bioluminescence, and from above by the soft glow of his social media accounts. Whoa, something's happening. Alarms going off. Sirens, jeez. I don't know. Still haven't come to terms with the fact that John's gonna be a dad. You think he'll be a good one? I didn't say, but okay, since you asked. I mean, think about it. If you were gonna rank us in order of maturity based on all the years we've known each other, about where would you put John? Carcat, lazily munching on a chocolate beetle, taps his foot against the picnic blanket. Jade moves his hand so that it's resting subtly on the line exposed skin above her skirt, where her tank top is riding up. He seems not to notice. Instead, he's seriously considering Dave's question. He picks a leg off of one of his beetles and flicks it over to Jade so that it lands on Dave's forehead. Below me, but above you. Yeah, exactly. Now he's all married and pregnant and he's got a mustache. I'm still not over the mustache. Why not? He looks so good. Yeah, almost disturbingly good. I almost can't talk to him anymore. It looks so good. Oh. Geez, Jay, don't read into it. A bro can appreciate how attractive his bro has become and maybe get a little breathless at the sight of his chiseled jawline and manly facial hair without being gay about it. I've just been thinking lately every time I see him that he's... Okay, don't make fun of me for saying this, but it's like John's a man. Not a lowercase m man, but a fully grown, legit dude with a leather briefcase and a suit that he only wears on special occasions. Pretty messed up. I know, right? Jade pokes a finger into Dave's chin, sliding it up his jawline so that it puckers his mouth to a pout. It's a pretty cute thing to do, if extremely immature. This might be the point Dave was trying to make. They're all still kind of immature. Jade doesn't pick up on the obvious subtext of the conversation, however, because she's been willfully undermining the subtext in her own personal life for nearly a year now. Well, I've actually been thinking lately about how since Rose and Kanaya had a kid, and Jane and Jake have a kid, and John and Roxy are going to have a kid, what would you think if maybe we had kids? What? Who? You and Dave? Carcat starts laughing. Jade flicks him in the forehead. No, stupid. All three of us. What? Look, I know there are issues to sort in terms of feasibility, but I think there's a lot of options to consider. Maybe someone can help out. Like someone we know? Or I don't know, what about adoption? That could be cute, adopting a little grub. Aw, or a human. Whatever, I'm not picky. Is right. Jade, don't you read the newspapers? The new administration is cracking down on certain kinds of interspecies adoption laws. If you're so intent on it being the three of us, we literally will not be able to adopt a human child because the human administration is afraid that I don't know, tear into it and feast on its organs. And that kind of political climate, I'm not sure it's a world I would want to raise a troll child in right now. Joke's on them. I've never seen you tear into anything more complicated than a microwave dinner. I know, right? I mean, on the other hand, if we adopt a kid young enough, it would totally fit in the microwave. What the hell, Dave? I'm not gonna eat our theoretical baby. Dave puts away his phone and rolls up so bad that he's braced on his elbow. He meets Carcat's gaze over to the rise of Jade's chest and smiles at him. Yeah, dude, I know. You're probably like closet dad of the year. just waiting for this moment to shine. I bet you'd whine and complain about getting a kid until we actually brought Junior home. The moment you saw his chubby little cheeks, your face would light right up. Oh, I can imagine the look on Karkat's face right now. Yeah, you know exactly the one. Like how he looks when his Hot Pocket finishes cooking in the microwave, which he understands is an instrument of food preparation and not some sort of grim infant warming device. Why did you have to bring it back into the microwave? Oh, because I had more jokes to make about the subject? Of course. God forbid Jade and I are not forced to listen to every letter of your morbid internal dialogue. Whatever. You love it. Anyway, on the baby in the microwave front. I'd be more worried about me being the one who'd do the deeds, so to speak. I mean, it's not like I've got a great demonstrative background in child rearing or anything. Considering all the places I got left as a kid, I wouldn't be surprised if I just put our baby in the toaster by accident or something. Like if you tally up the amount of hours I spent locked in the fridge, compared to the amount of hours I spent in the American school system learning how to be normal and do polynomials, just saying, it looks dire. Ooh, too hard. Too harsh. Dave's staring into the distance like a stopped clock, or at the very least like a dude who's been locked in the fridge more than once in his life. Jade and Karkat exchanged a private look they've also given each other more than once in Dave's presence. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna stick to Hot Pockets, I think. Dave, you really think you'd be that bad of a father, even with me and Karkat helping you? Don't take this personally, but I'm an evidence-based hypothesis kind of guy, and so far, three-way relationships in our friend group in attending parenthood, the record ain't looking so good. Just saying, a clown, a fascist, and a male sex icon walk into a bar sounds like the start of a bad but funny joke. But when it's the start of a family, that's when it gets a bit less funny to me. Poor little dude's gonna be messed up. Oh, come on, Dave. Tavros is a cute kid. Sure he is. Now. The moment cognitive function starts firing off in that kid's head, he's gonna be scarred for life. We don't know that. Jade, I know Jake's like your bestie and also your grandfather and also kinda your grandson. Oh, and also your dad, I guess. But his relationship is bad. Hey, that's not necessarily true. You're right, it's not true. Dave's just being gentle here to spare your feelings. His relationship is not merely bad. His relationship is a flaming wreck of interstellar warship hurtling towards the planet at terminal velocity with the entire crew brutally slaughtered upon re-entry, shoved straight down the Chagrin tunnel, and then immediately crapped out the other side, thus flooding the entire neighborhood when it clogs up the load gaper. Jade sits up and wraps her arms around her knees. Her ears go flat as she chews her lip. It's not like I don't know that. John never shuts up about it. I mean, he and Jane used to be close back when we all first met, but last time I talked to John, he accused her of something, Jake. Rap artisting, Jake. Oh, crap. You don't say. It's not like I don't worry about Jake, but come on, we're all adults. What am I supposed to do? Show up at his window dressed in like the Blue Fairy and whisk him away from his terrible life? Maybe that would work for a few days, but one thing I learned from dating around a lot in my youth is that no one's gonna leave a bad relationship until it's their idea to leave. She takes in a shaky breath and shuts her eyes. Her hair spills around her face when she leans forward to put her chin on her knees. Dave and Karkat exchange a look that is equal parts confused, miserable, and desperate. Ooh. Oh, okay. Karkat's making a fist against the ground, digging up a handful of moss and getting dirt under his fingernails. Perhaps it's a metaphor, he wryly spectates, or for the way Jade has just dug up the emotional dirt in their relationship. Dave clears his throat quietly. One of them could say something right now if they found the nerve, but as the moment slides by, nerve remains in short supply. Karkat opens his mouth without quite having settled on words that will come out of it, but before any do, the sky cracks open. Instead, he lets out an undignified yelp and scuttles back so he doesn't get hit by the sharp debris suddenly raining from above. Jane spins around and flings her arms out, using her space powers to catch the offensive rubble and shrink it into harmless granules. They spark and clash against her fingers. She can't quite tell what they are. They're not rocks or metal. They don't even seem to be physical. Something else comes hurtling out of the hole in the sky, too fast for Jade to catch. It hits the ground with a clap of green lightning. The collision sends a geyser of dirt, rock, and vapor into the air. Dave flash steps to shield Karkat. Jade doesn't move, taking the brunt of the explosion face on, using her abilities to warp the energy around her so that she's the moat at the center of the storm. When the dust clears, she's the first to jump in the crater, trailing smoke behind her. There's a body in the center of it. The torso is bloodied, tangled, and curled into a fetal position. Its shoes are missing, but otherwise the outfit is quite familiar to her. It's a dead ringer for her old Witch of Space uniform. Oh no! Oh no! Jade touches the body with the toe of her shoe, then gasps when it rolls over to reveal its face. It's me. Karkat and Dave stick their heads to the edge of the pit. Holy crap! What in the ever-living hell? Good question. I don't know. We should probably get her some help. Help? For what? It looks like her internal organs are obliterated. She's covered in more blood than I thought humans even had inside them. Well, we can't just leave her in this hole, man. Come on, give me a hand. Karkat watches as Jade stands over her own younger corpse. He notices the way her shoulders are slanted. It's clear even from a distance that she's shaking. Jade, do you have any idea what's going on here? What should we do about this? Jade doesn't say anything. She's staring at the body. A badly broken version of herself, probably from a different timeline, she guesses. This Jade looks about 16 years old. Her hair is matted with blood. Her appearance is gruesome, yet also peaceful somehow. Dave slides down the ridge of the crater and grabs her by the shoulder. Hey, Jade, can you hear us? Jade wipes the hand across her cheek and she looks down to find that it's come away bloody. One of those shrunken, massless shards from the sky must have nicked her in the face. Her eyes go wide and she feels the breath go out of her for a moment. She looks directly upward. Where did this body come from? Jade? Yes, Dave, I hear you. Still staring at the body, Jade digs her phone out of her pocket. I need to talk to Jane. Okay, meet timeliners. You know what I'm thinking, and I don't want to say it, because it'll ruin everything. So I'm gonna just go to the next chapter. Okay. Wow, sure feels weird to just be hanging out with all these idiots we were totally gossiping about just 20 minutes ago. Karkat's loudly whispering to Dave, leaning a bit too intimately into the curve of his chest for two dudes who are dating the same girl, but not each other. I've always knew our gossip sins would catch up with us eventually. Shh, both of you. Jade brushes past them, holding her dead teen self under the armpits, while Jake brings up the rear, stripe tight at ankles in hand. He shoots Dave and Karkat a big toothy grin. Dave nods back. Karkat continues to look somewhat seasick, keeping his eyes high so they don't accidentally graze teen Jade's impaled chest. Jake and Jade take the corpse up the winding white staircase towards Jane's bedchamber. The Crocker mansion is a dazzling maze of marble halls polished to a mirror sheen. It's the kind of place where footsteps echo from one end of the floor to the other. And even the pillows are lined with literal silver thread. There's a peaked skylight at the top of the foyer that splits the morning sun like a prism, spilling multicolored dots across every surface below. Amongst those dots are drips for teen Jade's blood. It's so dark on the spotless tile that it looks nearly black. Dave stays with Karkat by the door. They're waiting to meet Rose, Kanaya, John, and an extremely pregnant Roxy, who all show up with baby Vriska, who's really been coming along with her metamorphosis cycle lately. She now has both oral cavities and opposable thumbs, and she's making good use of the latter by reaching out to mash her hands against the face of any adult foolish enough to enter her range. She grabs one of Karkat's little nappy horns when Kanaya passes by. He reacts pretty much the same way he would if actual Vriska tugging on any part of his person. He flails and grouses, making a few strangled shouts of impotent rage, gives everyone a good giggle on a dark and confusing day. John hangs back with Karkat and Dave while the girls go upstairs. Hey, how are you guys doing? Oh, just enjoying a nice night out with our girlfriend when another teen version of our girlfriend plummeted out of the sky and bled all over our picnic pizza. Picnic pizza. Yeah, it's like a normal pizza, except that you eat it while sitting on the tablecloth in the grass. Oh, cool. I never thought about doing that. I just bring sandwiches to my picnics like an idiot. Then again, the last time I went to a picnic, I ate... Actually, never mind what I ate, but it sure wasn't pizza. You're lost, bro. It's the only way to picnic out. Stop talking about picnic pizza, you idiots. This is in such poor taste. Yeah, he's right. Anyway, like I was saying, we were in picnic pizza heaven when Space Tier Jade from, I guess 7 or 8 years ago, basically face planted in the field next to our romantic triple date. Dang. Yeah, it was pretty bad timing. Or extremely good timing. I don't know yet. The conversation was veering kinda, ugh. We are in the relationship real talk zone. Anyway, can we stop dwelling on this and just go upstairs? As they ascend the staircase, they're greeted by the horrible bone-rattling sound of a toddler screaming its head off. In the room, little Vriska Lalonde is pulling on little Tavros Crocker's thick black hair, while Jake Crocker laughs and scratches his head awkwardly. Jane looks quite irritated. Gamzee Makara Crocker is at her side, serving her as her ever-faithful shadow, holding her arm to steady her as she tries to revive Teen Jade's corpse. Jake! Vitriol leaks from every letter of his name. John and Dave exchange a knowing look. Who's supposed to be the Kismuses here again? Would you take Tavros out of here, please? Well, golly, Jane, I just thought it would be invigorating for the boy to interact with someone else his age for once. Well, he doesn't need to do it in here, especially not when I'm trying to work. Oh, no way. Nah, bruh. Gamzee's pet names are stupid. Anyway, you oughta chill. Yelling at your mate sprit is bad for the blood pressure, babe. Oh, I'm sorry. Is a clown speaking right now? It's the darndest thing. I could have sworn I just heard a nearby offensively odoriferous clown offering some advice when no one asked for his opinion. Whoa, Janie, you doing okay? Jane wipes perspiration off her face and sighs. I don't know. I've just been under a lot of stress lately, trying to run my business, raise a child, and manage the political situation indirectly through various corporate machinations. Jake, why are the children still here? Take them to the playroom now. Aye, ma'am. Jake scoops up the squabbling children and holds them as far apart as possible to stop Vriska from biting Tavros's ear off. Just one of the unfair advantages she has over him and his blunt human teeth. John and Dave part to let Jake go by. Quite sorry, blokes, he whispers as he takes his leave. Jane clutches her hands around Teen Jade's thin shoulders, looking the corpse over with an expression of absolute sorrow. I don't know why, but I'm having an extremely difficult time reviving her. Where did she even come from? Living Jade shakes her head. We have no idea. It's like the sky just opened up. Well, obviously, she's from another timeline. Darling, can you perhaps shed some light on this? Rose sucks on her lower lip. Takes her a moment to respond. Her fingers close around the neckline of her dress as her gaze sweeps across the room. She looks over each person present, but avoids making eye contact. I haven't the faintest clue. It could be anything. John quirks an eyebrow at her. She doesn't sound confident. Not like she did a month earlier when she claimed that Vriska had defeated Lord English. Well, something is blocking my life powers. It's as if she has a sort of poison in her. Not a literal poison, mind you. If it were as simple as a matter as there being something in her bloodstream, I could revive her lickety-split. It's deeper than that. It's like a poison eating away at the very core of her being. It's attacking her on, perhaps this sounds crazy, but a metaphysical level? Huh? What's so odd is it's not only can I not bring her back to life, but also somehow she doesn't feel entirely dead. Oh, I wonder if that has something to do with me, like being here. How so? Well, all of our selves across infinite timelines are actually just one self, right? Like one ultimate self distributed across multiple bodies? So in multiple places and states at once, every jade that exists is like a light being shined through 1,000 cracks in the timeline. But if we're outside the place where that light is being split from, maybe only one of us can exist, and that's why she's stuck in this horrible state. Roxy places her hand on Jade's head and gives her a little scritch between the ears. I think that Janie has just been melodramatic, Jane. It's not your fault. Jane reaches out to take her own corpse's hand. She remembers being this age, being heartbroken, still newly godlike in her abilities and on the verge of fighting a battle that could change everything. She can't believe how young she looks. What should we do with her? Roxy clasps her hands together. Well, I hate to be the one who says what we're all thinking, but sounds like it's time for another funeral. LMAO. LMAO? Roxy, Jade is dead and you're probably going to give birth within another week. Yeah, so we gotta start planning this one right now. Huh? Come on, guys. How long has it been since we're all together like this? Roxy looks around the room, searching with a big, bright grin. Karkat snorts from the far corner of the room where he's been pouting the whole time. I'm sorry. What was that, a rhetorical question, or were you going somewhere with it? It was not rhetorical at all. The last time we were all together was Dirk's funeral. Roxy, at the time we were mourning the death of a dear friend. I know, right? Nothing like the death of someone we love to bring us all together again. We've all been so busy with being pregnant and birthing 1,000 trolls and political situation that regulates the troll birthing. We don't even have time to catch up anymore. Jane's eyes flutter wide beneath her spectacles. Unbidden, her gaze flickers to where Rose and Kanaya are standing shoulder to shoulder, very much in stable, devoted interspecies love. Kanaya catches that gaze and holds it for a very long, tense moment. Roxy? Kanaya interrupts, tone clipped and dry. Perhaps we should not talk about that particular subject. If your concern here is that we all continue to be in the same room, it's possibly best we avoid bringing attention to the reasons that it so rarely happens. Oh, come on. Politics should never get between friends. Easy for you to say. Jade interjects tiredly. Karkat, let's not, okay? I mean, not now. Let's not what? Let's not talk about the giant trumpet beast in the room. Let's not talk about how Kanaya, Terezi, and I work just as hard to create this world as any of you, but our people don't get a say in how they govern themselves. Let's not talk about how the crimes of Alternia are held up to unfair scrutiny anytime a troll wants to do or say something on the news, but we're not allowed to generalize humans based on the worst things that happened to your history. Let's not talk about how Alternia was basically the sacrificial milk beast upon the altar that this universe was built on, but you all act like we're so lucky you deigned to allow us to exist alongside you instead of just letting us die out the way it was intended. Excuse you, Karkat, but no one acts like that. Oh, no one? Karkat pushes off from the wall, furiously, practically spitting flames. He points at Jane, his whole arm quivering. I listened to the news, you know. I've heard all the arguments, the ones based on policy advice your corporate think tank feeds the president. You think that it's being broadcast at a frequency only humans can hear or something? You think we're all that stupid? Even I can tell that the atmosphere in the Troll Kingdom is changing, and I have never once willingly held a conversation with my neighbors. Everyone's starting to get scared. More than that, they're starting to get angry. Jane folds up her hands in her lap. Her voice is ice cold, varnished to a shine. Is this meant to be a threat of future violence, Mr. Vantas? I'm not sure menacing me is making the most compelling case for your political claims. Holy crap, are you hearing this? Yes, Karkat, we are all most definitely hearing this. It's somewhat unavoidable with you shouting it at the top of your lungs. Sorry, I thought it might be kind of difficult for you to hear me, what with your head shoved all the way up your big, fat butt. Whoa, dang. Gamzee steps out from behind Jane, putting himself between her and Karkat. He raises his hands in a calming gesture. Hey, brother, chill out. Screw off, Gamzee. Whoa, Karkat, my dude, why are you all lashing out and stuff? I thought we were good. No, we're not mother trucking good. We'll never be mother trucking good. Yo, come on, man, I'm mother trucking apologized about going overboard with the malice and murder and stuff. A mother trucker redeemed his mother trucking self. Y'all can't even get salty with your homie no more. That'd be all the rule of redemption, my bro. I don't care what you say the rules are, dude. I don't care if you prostrate yourself at my feet and lick the dirt off underneath my toenails. Don't try to do that, by the way. I'm obviously being facetious. If you actually tried to touch my feet with your disgusting, rotten, smelly tongue, I'd probably be forced to reach down my throat and pull out my own pump biscuit. That was also me being facetious. My point is, don't touch me, don't smile at me, don't wink at me, don't honk at me, don't do anything in my direction. You got that? We are nothing to each other. Do you understand me, brother? Gamzee gets up from where he's been crawling across the floor in preparation for some righteous Oh, wow. He looks positively crestfallen. Karkat, yo, there's gotta be something I can do. No. Never in the wildest dreams of your sober-soaked pea brain will we be mother trucking good, Gamzee, because you're sleeping with the enemy, because I still have nightmares about what you did, and because you have no idea what the heck you even did wrong in the first place. Whoa, okay, Karkat, I get you're all fired up about politics and stuff, but lay off Gams, okay? Yes, can't you see that he's sincerely trying to have a redemption arc? I get it if you don't want to forgive him, that's totes your business, but you gotta at least admit he's making an effort here. Honk. That's it. Karkat points at Jane and then Roxy, then Gamzee. Screw you, and especially you. In fact, screw all of you, I'm leaving. Karkat whirls around to leave, but Dave tries to stop him, hands on his shoulders. Karkat wrestles out from under his gentle grip, hissing. He jabs Dave hard in the clavicle, hard enough that Dave is forced to take a shocked half-step backwards. Dude, what part of all of you do you not understand, Strider? Are you as deaf as you are stupid? Get out of my way. Dave folds out of the way, stunned and compliant. Jade gapes at her stunned boyfriend at the empty space of the doorway left by her other boyfriend. Dave, what the heck did you say to him downstairs? Nothing. To be honest, I think he's been holding all that in for a while. Karkat leaves a stunned silence in his wake. Jane is fuming silently to herself. Kanai and Rose are exchanging a knowing look about world politics. John chewing his lip, mulling about how Karkat's probably right, and how if he were braver, he would have backed him up. This unpleasant spell of poorly attuned togetherness is interrupted by Jake, looking all toothsome and fatherly with Tavros asleep in his arms, and placated Vriska riding his broad shoulders. By Jove, chaps, what was all that commotion? It was nothing, Jake. Go back to the playroom. No, wait, Jake, we're having another funeral. We don't got much time, so I'm appointing you officially third in charge of the planning committee, after me and Callie, obviously. Oh my gosh, Roxy, are you really serious about this funeral idea? Yeah, why wouldn't I be? Geez, I'm all for, honoring the memory of this departed version of Teen Jade we barely know, but you're so pregnant. Yeah, I'm pregnant as heck, but I don't see anyone else stepping up to the plate. Roxy, I understand the sentiment, but are you really sure it's appropriate? Yep, it's even more appropriate now. After all the bull that's happened, we need a good bash for the sake of team unity. I admit I'm still being ignorant regarding many aspects of human culture, but a funeral is not what I would call a bash. LMAO, that's 'cause you've got no imagination, Kanaya. We'll make sure it's lit AF, right, Jake? Golly, I do love me Golly, I do love me a good soiree, no matter the circumstance. I'd be chuffed to the nines to be your third man on this one, Rox. Then it's official. This time next week, we'll corpse party like it's the end of the world. Again. Jane pushes up her spectacles so that she can pinch the bridge of her nose. How is it that no matter how hard I try to keep the foolishness in my life confined exclusively to my romantic partners, I invariably find myself surrounded by clowns regardless? Honk. This has gotten so freaking heavy. One more chapter and I'm done for today. I just can't. It's raining again, coming down in a frigid torrent. John is a pallbearer this time around. Teen Jade is so light, he and Jake alone carry the coffin with ease. Together they trudge through the ankle-deep puddles while their friends line up on either side of the stone steps that lead to the cathedral. It's just them this time, Earthsea's very own dysfunctional collection of old gods. John can't say he misses the clangor of the shameless press hounding them from the edges of what is supposed to be a somber ceremony. But the smallness of the congregation under the tall Gothic ceilings makes Roxy's attitude at the pulpit all the more absurd. She leads John and Jake into the building and down the center of the nave, humming happily to herself the entire time. An equally effusive Calliope trails behind her, carrying a bouquet of purple flowers. Despite Roxy's insistence that this sad event could only bring them all closer together, the group is sitting in chilly segments on their side of the aisle, pointedly not interacting. Karkat is sitting all on his own about 6 pews behind Jade and Dave. Gamzee is sitting out by the door, having been banished there by Jane like a wet dog. No one in the cathedral can blame her because he certainly smells like one. Roxy, bathed in pink and gold light from the stained glass behind her, spreads her arms and begins to speechify. She practically has to shout to be heard over the roar of the rainstorm outside. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here today. We're gathered here to honor the memory of an alternate universe Jade. Alas, we hardly knew her, by which I mean we didn't know her at all, 'cause she fell out of the sky like a week ago and was already dead. But I think that based on our long acquaintanceship with a live Jade, we can safely assume that she was totally rad. So we're all here to contemplate the vast cruelness of the universe, that such radness was plucked in its prime. Callie, the roses. Oh, of course. Calliope begins plucking the petals off her bouquet and tossing them in the fluttery, uneven arc over Roxy's impressive coiffed hair. John facepalms audibly in the crowd. He spent the entire morning giving one more go at talking Roxy out of the entire affair, but she was stubbornly dedicated to her artistic vision. You gave it the old college try, chap, Jake said to him earlier as he waxed his mustache in the mirror. That it's better for a man to just let his wife do what she wants. I promise you'll experience less pain that way, old boy. Calliope. Purple roses traditionally represent love at first sight. However, these roses are actually red roses that we prepared using a blue dye. And the blue rose is the most elusive and mysterious of all flowers. The combination of red and blue in this context is meant to evoke the dual nature of death, in that there is nothing more mysterious and impossible to comprehend than the vast void of the afterlife, but also there is nothing that makes us appreciate the life and the love that we already have in the mystery of death. While death is terrifying, there is always joy to be found among the sorrow. Each time we witness death, we fall in love with the important people in our lives all over again. Calliope is gazing at Roxy with glassy eyes. She sniffs and she plucks the last petal from her rose. A breeze washes through the cathedral from the crack in the door at the end of the room, brushing the petal off course and causing it to get stuck in Roxy's oversprayed hair. Calliope reaches out with a visibly shaking hand to remove the petal offal, but she does not draw back. Instead, she lets her hand graze down the side of Roxy's face and cup her cheek. Roxy puts her hand over Callie's and holds it. John tilts its head and squints at the image in front of him. Whoa, Callie, that's a beautiful metaphor. Aw, thank you, Roxy. Don't sound so humble. It is very, very deep. I just can't take credit for the external inspiration. Oh, come on, Callie, you're the literal muse. Yes, but you're... This very tender scene is cruelly interrupted by the sound of the cathedral door slamming open. Everyone whips their heads around to see, of all people, Aradia hovering in the foyer. Her wings radiate a soft ephemeral glow that paints the walls around her pink and red. Solix is with her, feeling his way into the church through the grain of the door. He's soaked head to toe. Oh no, did we miss the entire corpse party? I hope not. Yes, that... Oh, wait. Oh no. Lisp. Dang it. Yes, that would be such a tragedy. Oh, shush you. The tragedy is what I don't want to miss. Oh, wait. This is the Solix that has no teeth. Oh, dang it. I don't know anymore. Karkat jumps to his feet so wide that they practically pop out of his head. Aradia? Holy crap, Solix? Hey, loser, it's been a long time. It's been a long time? Is that all you have to say to me? It's been more than a human decade. I thought you guys were dead. No, I wasn't dead. No, I mean like gone forever. I thought that you literally didn't exist anymore. At the very least, we're trapped in a dead universe, perpetually collapsing into its own butt. Oh, nope. Fine. Waltz in here with no explanation whatsoever. Sounds about right. It's not like your sudden and unexplained presence is any less than a joke than this funeral we're having. I mean, why not stop at Solix and Aradia? Maybe Nepeta's about to pounce from behind that grotesque statue of the human sufferer T-posing over there. Also, this is a Christian cathedral. What? They have Christianity in this world? What is this? Nepeta, are you there? Come on out. The corpse party wouldn't be the same without you. Shush, everyone. There will be a reception with cake and candy after the service. You can all give your poignant reunions then. Before we can unite in tearful togetherness, we gotta unite in tearful loss. Wait, there's more? I thought that nice speech Callie made was like pretty much the funeral. Lol, no. Callie and I were just getting started. Oh my gosh. Anyway, where was I? how the infinite mystery of death makes us appreciate the love we have. All right, I'm English. Man, I'm tired. Right. Roxy starts giving off the second act of her eulogy. Aradia glides to the floor and sets her feet on the stone tilling, elfin and weightless. She slides up to Gamzee and jostles him in the ribs. So I see you managed to get out of the fridge. I didn't just get out of the fridge. I was set free, sister. I see. When the door of that fridge popped open, it was like I'd be all seeing the light and stuff. Well, yeah, that's what happens when someone opens a door to a totally dark enclosure. Man, I can't believe you're still in this. You're still this stupid. Oh, wait, I can. No, brother, it's a mother truckin' metaphor. A metaphor for the miracle of redemption. Redemption? Yeah, check it out. I did my mother truckin' redemption arc. Is that so? Been doing all kinds of good deeds at the Lost Mother Truckers, preaching the holy word, making out with orphans. Isn't it kissing orphans? Let him talk, Solix. I even got a healthy, mutually fulfilling kismesis going on with that foxy human broad up front. Aradia turns to look in the direction of the lecherous, ogle. She observes the bored-looking woman, who she recognizes to be Jane. Aradia looks her up and down and arches an eyebrow in approval. It's so nice that you believe all that, Gamzee. I think I can honestly say I'm reasonably happy for you. Oh my gosh, be quiet in the back already. We're trying to have a beautiful and solemn proceeding up here. Oh, I'm sorry. I do agree that it's a beautiful corpse party, but I think it would be even more beautiful if we could actually see the corpse. Oh my gosh, Aradia, why are you still like this? Roxy smacks herself on the forehead like this is the most obvious thing in the world. Of course, how could she forget the corpse? Oh, well, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Hey, Jake, a little help? I'm, hella pregnant here and shouldn't be doing any heavy lifting. Jake leaps from his seat, very enthusiastic to be freed from the ice-cold grip of Jane's perfectly manicured hand. He jumps onto stage and begins unlatching the coffin while Calliope throws more rose petals for some reason. Living Jade slumps into her seat a bit and beginning to look green. Ugh. Yo, babe, it's okay. Easy for you to say. You've got practice with this kind of thing. Just remember, it's not actually your corpse. I mean, technically it is. It both is and isn't your corpse at the same time. But yeah, the longer you think about it like that, the more messed up it gets. But also, when you objectively think about it, the combined multiverse is a huge tangle of interrelated, but totally random events, and it's the only chance that the specific life is the one you'll end up living. You and that corpse could have just as easily switched places. But also, that would never actually happen, because that's not how paradox space works. Anyway, my point is that nothing really matters, so chill out. I love you with all my heart, Dave, but you're really not helping right now. With a grunt, Jake pries open the coffin, the lid creaks open and hits the side of the pulpit with a loud crack. The noise reverberates through the entire cathedral, shaking dust off the unused pews and rattling the iron and stained glass windows. Outside, a clap of thunder follows. Aradia vaults into the air and flits over to the pews to get a better look at the body. Teen Jade remains in the bloody space outfit she crashed to Earth in, since nobody was willing to dislodge the huge otherworldly shard from her chest in order to change her. But Roxy has done the corpse makeup beautifully and fashioned her a lovely flower crown. If not for all the blood caked down her front, her conspicuous impalement, she looked like she was merely sleeping. Now this is more like it. I can't look. Oh, here. Dave slings an arm around her shoulder. She starts to snuggle in, but Dave is absolutely not initiating physical contact here for the purpose of getting his cuddle on. Instead, cradling Jade in his arms, he uses his hands to cover her eyes. What are you doing? Emotional support, yo. Dave, what? Like to see you do any better. Me too, actually. I'm sorry, but I'm not the one whose questionable consolation tactics are on trial here. This isn't a trial, it's a funeral. Ha ha ha, they've got a point, Rose, you gotta admit. A point about what? You're not great at consolation, just saying. Oh, you don't know half of it. Excuse all of you, but I'm an excellent advice giver. Nobody said anything about advice giving, Rose. Oh yeah, the advice is top notch, but you're kind of a weird person to cry in front of. No offense. What? The first time I ever got upset in front of Rose IRL, she put her arms around me and it was so awkward that I had to ask her if she was hugging me or reaching for something in the shelf behind me. Everyone, we're getting rather off track. I was doing both, for your information. The first time Rose hugged me was such a disaster we didn't make eye contact for like a week after. Jade, come here. I shall hold you in my arms. Thank you, Kanaya. At least one of you knows how to treat a lady in distress. Agreed. I always felt that Kanaya has done an exemplary job of providing a model for compassionate, empathetic behavior, which others of her kind would do well to follow. What did you just say? I'm sorry, Mr. Vantis. Do you have another unsolicited political opinion you'd like to share with everyone? Considering the geyser that just shot out of your ignorant cannon, I'd say my opinion is pretty solicited right now. Everyone be quiet! Calliope yells so loud that her voice becomes a hollow, howling shriek. The glass of the candelabras above her shatters, snuffing out the candles, filling the choir with blue smoke. She gasps, covers her mouth with both hands, shrinking beyond the startled looks she's receiving from the rest of the funeral goers. Slowly, she lowers her arms, staring at her hands in shock. This time, she whispers, Please, Roxy gathered you all here for a reason. At least listen until the end. After that, you can argue all you want. Roxy comes back to the pulpit, wraps an arm around Calliope's shoulders. Look, everyone, I'm not dumb, okay? Even though I act like it sometimes, I know what's going on here. That we're all drifting apart, and I know that's just a normal part of growing up and making new families, and I guess learning that some people have unbridgeable divides on political stuff. I can accept that things aren't gonna always be the same as when we first met, especially with Dirk gone. Dang. Even though it's been more than a year, I still feel like he died yesterday. What Callie said earlier about death being mysterious and full of love, it's true. I don't know if I ever would have gotten up the courage to marry John if Dirk hadn't died. Sometimes I think about what would have been like if he were still here. I think we can all agree that if Dirk didn't kill himself, there would be some big differences in the lives of people here in this room. Can't say if they'd be good or bad. Maybe when it comes to this kind of thing like infinite probability and multiple universes and stuff, good and bad don't matter. There's no better or worse, just different. Even with dead Jade here, who's to say that world she came from was actually worse than ours. She probably died a heroic death doing something incredible. We probably only have the great lives we do right now because of her sacrifice. The universal odds of us all being alive and healthy and together like this are so infinitesimally low that is literally impossible for us to understand with our limited linear consciousness. Isn't that amazing? Even so, if this is the last time we're all ever in the same room like this, I think it's just incredible we could be here in the first place. Out of a sempiternal number of possibilities, we are the only incarnation of this exact specific moment in all of existence. I think we should all look around and be super grateful for Whoa! Roxy's voice starts to crack. She staggers off the podium, clutching her bloated stomach. Roxy, are you okay? Of course I'm not okay. I just went into labor! Oh my gosh! John scrambles to his feet. Oh my gosh, it's happening. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, John, are you just gonna keep shouting, oh my gosh, or are you gonna help your wifey out? Oh my gosh! John scrambles up the stairs to the pulpit, holding his head in both hands. It's actually Jake, still dutifully standing next to the corpse, who catches Roxy under the armpits when she topples backwards. He passes her off to John, who whips up a cushion of wind for her to recline on. You doing okay there, sweetheart? Oh, why'd I have to let you put this thing inside me? Don't worry, Roxy. We'll get it out as soon as we can. And by it, we mean our child. Probably shouldn't be talking about him in a dehumanizing terms before he's even born, huh? Seems like a bad omen. Oh my gosh, John. Shut up. I need like 6 gallons of Demerol stat. Let's go! All right, going. John swoops his wife into his arms and starts stumbling down the aisle. Wait, I would like to be there as well. Hurry up, then. Calliope begins sprinting after John and Roxy, but doesn't make it 2 steps before something stops her in her tracks. Feeling that crawls under her exoskeleton, she stands deathly still for a moment, then turns her face to the coffin. Something about the corpse has transfixed her. She curls her fingers around the rim of the casket and leans in, studying Teen Jade's peaceful face. Suddenly, the corpse bolts upright. Calliope yelps and falls on her butt. Adult Jade screams. Ah! By Jove! Jeez! Hair veiling her face, Teen Jade sets her hands to her chest and dissolves the shard, bisecting her ribcage. The wound does not heal, but it doesn't bleed either. Jade, you're alive, or you're not dead. Takes a while for the corpse to reply. Everyone waits for her to speak. When the words leave her mouth, they send a chill through the cathedral air. I'm not Jade. Jade raises her head. The strange makeup Roxy applied earlier is running down her face in dark rivers. Her eyes are solid black, even more black it seems. They are hollows, penetrating deep into a field of absence so profound it's hard to imagine a single photon has ever crossed through its infinite expanse. Meaning her gaze is like peering into a realm where light goes to die. Calliope finds the sensation disturbingly familiar. Then who are you? You know who I am, Calliope. We met once, years ago. You were dead. So was I. Calliope now understands exactly who was speaking to her. She tenses up, scuttles backward, and begins tumbling down the stairs into the aisle. She starts running before she's even up on both feet, crawling the carpet ragged in her desperation to escape the cathedral. The congregation watches her go, but no one moves to help her, or even looks in her direction. In her wake, she leaves a primal echoing wail. The door closes thunderously behind her. Her scream can be heard beyond the doors, growing quieter as she recedes into the distance. Kanaya adjusts the buttons of her very fashionable morning gloves and sighs. This is certainly a turn of events. I'll say, at first I was underwhelmed with the proceedings, I have to admit, but that was quite the twist. This may be one of the best death-related celebrations I've ever seen. Top 5 at least. Teen Jade floats out of her coffin with a measured grace. Adult Jade shudders as her reanimated duplicate passes by. She slides back to Kanaya's comforting arms and hides her face in the crook of her neck. Teen Jade directs her pitch-black eyes towards the arched marble ceiling and gazes skyward with a sort of intensity and purpose nobody in this crowd has seen in years. It's as if her glare is passing through the roof of the church and continuing unimpeded through the partitions of this very plane of reality itself. You're undoubtedly surprised, but these events were not unpredictable at all. This is exactly what I've been expecting to happen. She spreads her arms and speaks in a voice as deep and dark as the void. And while I cannot say the same for the rest of you, I at least am exactly where I'm meant to be. Jake meekly raises his hand, now treating the botched funeral as something closer to a classroom setting. Hey, not to come off as a total idiot here, but, who are you supposed to be again? She directs the powerful vacuum of her hollow glare towards the total idiot. She regards him for a moment, radiating the sense of disdain for what may very well be the greatest living source of ignorance she has ever encountered in her many eons of existence. My name is Calliope. I'm the Muse of Space, and I've entered this body to protect your world. Well then. Well then. Okay. I don't know why Calliope's here and why she has to protect everyone, but I got the sinking feeling that the epilogue from the postscript of the meat epilogue, I've got a strange feeling right there. Anyway, I'm gonna go. It's almost 8 o'clock at night. I want to do a little bit of editing before I go to bed. See you guys next time.
Hey there. Consider becoming a patron, just like the phenomenal Gerald Thomas and Bleed Red.